So, okay, have a difficult game on Saturday, but straight into another opportunity to respond against Borehamwood tomorrow.
Yeah, of course. I don't think no one likes losing football matches, and that's the biggest takeaway. And he lost a couple, which we hate. I hate losing anything. So, bitterly disappointed on that. Spoke with players today about things that we've got to do better. And you look at when the goal's gone in and the reaction after the period after that, you concede so quickly. And you're going to concede in football matches. That's part and parcel. What you can't do is concede the second one. That quickly becomes a very difficult one to climb because Scunthorpe are very good in the counter. So disappointed, obviously, with the result. I want to bounce back as quick as possible.
Yeah, Borehamwood are another team that have made a good start following promotion from last season. Where do you expect their threats to come from? Yeah,
listen, I think credit to Luke, knows the league better than nearly everyone. But decent pace on the sides, with the two wingers they got. Rushy up top, who we know, of course, and Brunty, as of course, good footballers, and good know-how for the level with the centre halves and what they got around the pitch. So they've been in good form, and only lost since the first day. But plenty around the pitch that the know-how they've got of the league and Luke's experience in the league, of course, sets them in good stead.
And the supporters are continuing to travel in great numbers. How important can their backing be on Tuesday night?
Yeah, as always. Listen, I think we say it every press conference goes without saying that the numbers are unbelievable, and a lot of travel, closer one obviously this week. And of course, we want to give them something to cheer and get points on the board. Nice one, thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
Kevin, since the defeat against Scunthorpe United on Saturday, what have the last sort of 48 hours looked like for you guys?
Yeah, I hate losing. So it's always rubbish. The weekend's ruined. But it's trying to get the proper reflection of the game when you analyse it back. The disappointment because there was nothing in it first half. They get the goal and the game changes. And it's what we do better in them moments. After we concede, because that's football, you do concede goals. But improving the things we're good at, there's some basics around that, getting them right, and making sure that the second one don't come as quick, maybe. But listen, 7th in the league, and obviously hate losing games. That goes without saying, and I shouldn't lose 2 in a row. With the home form we've had, it's been a decent start, but we've got to get back on that now.
What's the response the players been like in training today?
Yeah, I think, listen, any football club you go in that loses on the weekend is always a bit quiet, and it takes a little while to get going, but once they get out on the training pitch, it's, back to work.
Definitely. In terms of team news as well, obviously I got Scott Morris and Leon Parrott out on Saturday. How are they looking?
Yeah, hopefully they'll be available. We'll have to see how they react to training, both of them, but, you'd like to think they'll get through.
Yeah. Speaking to Harry Boyce just before, he said, the team are getting into the areas, it's just putting them away and they'll come. So I suppose it's how you work on that, isn't it? And is it just a case you just got to keep pushing and then it's going to come eventually?
Yeah, listen, I think it's, as he said, we've got so many good areas of the pitch and that final ball. We're not naive enough to think you keep doing the same thing over and over and tweak things. But you've got to keep the belief in what you're doing, of course, and I think we've shown enough over the period we've been here that we do the players and they keep working hard and keep believing in themselves, and that's important because football's a funny game, it can change so quickly. And if you go back to the Eastleigh game where we equalised, we look like the team's going to want to win it, and that games like that can fill you with confidence, and sometimes it can drain you a little bit as well. But you've got to keep the belief and keep working hard, and the harder you do that, the luckier you can get sometimes, and that's football.
And with that in mind, and is what is a busy period for Southend as well, this is the 3rd game, what will be 4 in about 2 weeks or so. To what extent, and I don't expect to give too much away, but to what extent do you expect a bit of rotation in there in the next couple of games?
Listen, I'm sure things usually change, but we've got a decent squad, we believe, and you can't just throw everything out the out the water if you want because things go wrong straight. Because we believe in the players. There's a lot of stuff that they've done well, and form happens. People can lose form, people can be confident in their games, and that happens. But it's got to remain consistent with what we tell them and what they do. And listen, I think we've used the squad throughout the season so far, and I'm sure that'll happen with the games that come up.
Yeah. Now this Borehamwood side have had a very strong start to the National League season. I think they've only had 1 loss and 6 at home or something like that. So what will be the key to taking something from Meadow Lane?
Yeah, listen, I think it's always, real competitive game when you go there, and what they've added to from last year and previous years. Now Luke's gone back, and they're quite really dynamic in the front line, but good experience throughout the team as well. And listen, they've signed good players. You signed Zach Brunt and Matt Rush, we know, but with that consistency of what they got, is probably the reason they're doing so well.
I mean, Luke Garrett, I think, am I right to say he was a Tottenham youth as well? I think in that sort of
right, yeah, I think I might be a bit older, yeah, but not around the period I was, yeah.
Yeah, but like I say, he's someone who's lived a career. What do you think is about what he's doing at the moment?
Yeah, excellent, and not surprised. I think, what he's done for that football club. Listen, even before, the year before when they got relegated, that's not always just the manager. But he went away, refreshed, come back, and has driven that club, and they owe him so much for what he's done for that football club. And are we surprised that his consistency and the work he's done this year? No, not for me.
Going into this one, then obviously you said in your post-match there was some tough conversation you need to have, which you've had, and you're looking to move forward now. So what would be the message to fans going into this game? No,
listen, more the players have got to respond. We know the fans will turn up in their numbers, of course, and we've got to give them something to cheer as well. And listen, the players have always give everything. They always work their socks off for the team, and it's just maybe there's some moments that they've got to get right. And when you don't win games, that can be highlighted and that can hurt you a little bit. But you've got to be strong enough as players to deal with that and move on and win football matches.
Ariana's just got a question.
No.
And looking back quite a bit, 200 games ago when you came back to Southend as a coach, did you have any goals or specific targets that you set for yourself and the team, and which of those have you met?
Yeah, I think, listen, that's a good question. It probably needs longer to answer than I've got. Always had goals and aims in mind. I want to win things. I want to win trophies. First and foremost, I want to win football matches. What's happened in between can cloud that, and sometimes what you have as an idea in your mind of what everything, you've got to be able to react off that. So there's plenty of targets we've hit. There's plenty of targets we want to still hit. And what you do is keep working every day, and working to your max and keep looking to improve, and eventually you'll get to where you want to be. And I think we want this club to be as successful as possible, and that's in the Football League, of course.
And in that time, has there been a specific, your one standout moment? What's that been?
Well, yeah, probably too hard to pin it on one moment. But so proud of everyone that has contributed to the time I've been here. And probably too many people to thank at once, because it doesn't go unnoticed on me. And listen, to people that have shown loyalty to this football club should be recognised, and to the backroom staff as well. It's always a team effort. Thank you.
How's Charlie progressing?
Yeah, it's still going to be a couple of weeks, but the looks of things, just talking to him there a little while ago, he can still feel something, but the scanner said it would probably be that anyway. So he's getting on with his work, but not on the pitch yet.
Yeah, and with the midfield, that seems to be where you've got a lot of options, isn't it? Sort of rotating that. Was that just Keenan on the bench on Saturday? Was that because you're keeping things fresh around these sort of busy run of games?
Yeah, exactly. And listen, Ollie Coker, we thought's always a goal threat. Sammy has been ever so consistent since he's been here, and he's worked great, and he's got a couple of goals for us as well. So yeah, it's probably it's probably strong in an area. Obviously, losing Nor's a blow, but it's up to other people to step up.
Yeah, and there's quite a few of their players that you know quite well, sort of Zach Bryant, John Benton, and Matt Rush as well. So you're aware of the threats that they're going to provide. Yeah,
listen, and we've come up against the Carol Reynolds, Bushy, Femi, so we know each other quite well, and there shouldn't be too many surprises in terms of not knowing players. So yeah, it'd be likewise for them as well.
I know we sort of touched on it briefly after the game, but potential loan signings or anything like that, have you looked into that at all, or is it just...
Listen, I think we'll always look. I think there'll be times to freshen things up, of course, whether that's ins and outs, and I think that's normal as a football club. Pleased with the club, the team as it been at the start, but always looking, and if we can, I think it's like I say, continually to improve the squad as much as you can. That's always going to happen.